Over the last several months, we've talked a lot about COVID-19, the immune system, the cytokine storm, vaccines. And one of the things that we didn't talk about was exercising, eating healthy, getting the proper amount of sleep, and keeping our stress level down. Those are things that are going to help our immune system to work well. That's going to help the vaccine to be most effective. When they gave the vaccine out, they probably should have given a little one-sheeter that said, exercise, eat healthy, get the proper amount of sleep, and keep your stress level down. And all of that kind of works in with the vaccine to make our immune system healthy. So today we're going to talk about sleep and its importance in our immune system. Okay, so to start out, we know that if we don't get enough sleep, we're not going to feel our best. Our energy level is not going to be where it needs to be at the next day. We won't feel like working out. If we get 4 to 5 hours of sleep, we're barely making it through our work day. We're not as productive as we could be if we got more sleep. Now, what I want to do is kind of go through the stages of sleep. We've heard about that somewhere along in our lifetime. And I want to talk about the stages, but I want to talk about the stages that count the most. So stage 1 is when we drift off a little bit and we're like easily awakened, and that lasts about 5 to 10 minutes. Stage 2 is when you really are kind of conked out and somebody has to kind of shake you to get you awake, and that is lasts about 15 to 20 minutes. And then we go into a deep sleep. And this is where things start to happen in our bodies. If we get into the deep sleep phase, one thing that happens is growth hormone is released. And when growth hormone is released during our sleep time, tissue repair is undergone, muscle repair, all of these things are happening at night with our bodies during that deep sleep. Stage 3. The other thing that happens in stage 3 is that immune cells are released. Remember the T cell, the CD8 toxic helper cell? Those toxic helper cells are released during this deep sleep phase. And we know from the previous videos that these T cells are really, really important in our immune system. Studies have shown that men who get 4 to 5 or less hours of sleep have low testosterone levels. Not just a little low, but low that would match 10 years, men 10 years their seniors. So in other words, if you are a person, let's say 40 years old, 35, 40 years old, and you're getting about 4 to 5 or less hours of sleep a night, your testosterone levels are dropping, and they drop to a level where you actually have the testosterone level of a 50-year-old. We know the ramifications of that. Low testosterone, low energy, erectile dysfunction, all of those things start to play a role if you have poor sleep hygiene. Likewise, women have different things that happen with their reproductive systems if they are getting poor sleep or decreased hours, less than 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night. The recommendation is 7 to 9 hours of sleep is good for the body, good for our immune system, good for tissue repair, all of the things that we mentioned. The sleep deprivation has been linked to cancers because those CD8 cells not only prevent virus, they also attack cancer cells. And so sleep deprivation has been linked to prostate cancer, breast cancer, and colon cancer. Once a year, 1.6 million people over 70 countries It has been shown that one day, and that day would be daylight savings time, when we lose an hour of sleep, the next day, cardiovascular disease and heart attacks go up 24%. So that people losing that 1 hour of sleep has an effect, a direct effect the very next day. Likewise, in the fall, when people get an hour of sleep, the very next day, the cardiovascular heart attacks and strokes go down by 21%. Getting at least 7 hours of sleep can do a lot for you, and it can help you to have a healthy body, and also it can help you to live longer. There's one other stage in sleep. It's called Rem sleep, rapid eye movement, and this is an important stage of sleep, because this is where memory, learning, and problem solving occur. And you don't just go into REM sleep once. You go into REM sleep, this rapid eye movement, every 90 minutes. The first REM sleep, it lasts about 10 minutes, and you come back out of it. And then 90 minutes later, you go into it again, and it's a little bit longer. 90 minutes go by, you go into it again, and it's even longer. And so you can see why that you would need at least 6-7 hours of sleep to be able to go into that effective area of sleeping time, rapid eye movement, REM sleep, where the memory, learning, problem solving take place. Now, here is what scientists and researchers are looking at. You know, people that have Alzheimer's, dementia, and their memory is affected. Well, they're now looking at the part of the brain where all of this occurs is called the hippocampus. One important thing about this sleep and knowing and learning and understanding the importance of sleep is that as we get older, our sleep is less. We sleep less as we get older. That's just one of the things that happens with aging. They don't get into that REM sleep like they did when they were in their 20s and 30s. And so what researchers are doing now with people that have Alzheimer's and dementia is trying to look at the hippocampus and trying to look at that part that is responsible for memory and the time that we need to have in that phase. And they're looking at that and trying to figure out, how do we change that? How do we help people that are in their 60s, 70s, and 80s? This was just an overview of sleep. It was an overview really of healthy living, healthy lifestyle. We already know about exercise. We know we need to exercise, and most of the people that I talk to, including myself, we don't exercise like we should. We're going to probably do a part 2 on this sleep, so I can give you some more. I can bring some of the studies and some of the clinical research that has been done with this sleep to you, so you can look it over. So if you found this information useful and informative, like, subscribe, and share. Thanks. We'll see you next week.